Right now at 6, a knife nicked his heart, but he has the spirit of a survivor.
This situation did not dim the bright light that radiates from Damien.
As we learn more about one of the teens stabbed on a MAX train, police say, because of his race.
Then back to class in Evergreen, the deal that finally ended the teacher strike. Plus,
never forget. 22 years on, local efforts to remember and honor the thousands of lives lost and those forever changed. And later,
one thing that motivates me to just get back, this is my second home.
Scoots, Suits, how the Portland Trailblazers' rising young star is already making an impact on and off the court.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko, and we begin with an update on that MAX train stabbing and a suspect who is now facing hate crime charges for attacking 2 teenagers, authorities say, because they are black.
Let's get right to Blair Best. And Blair, for the first time this evening, we're also learning more about one of those survivors, just 17 years old. How is he doing tonight?
That's right. 17-year-old Damien was taken to the hospital for emergency surgery after the attack. And he's out of the hospital now, but still can't leave his home. Now, today we heard from his close friends who say he faces a long road ahead of him, but that his spirits are high.
First, I will say, this situation did not dim the bright light that radiates from Damien.
Brianna Rehana and her son Emmanuel are close friends with Damien, one of the 2 teens stabbed earlier this month on a MAX train in southeast Portland.
I just couldn't believe it. I mean, my heart sank. I just heard that he had gotten stabbed on the MAX.
The attack sent Damien to the hospital for emergency open chest surgery.
He has been upbeat and full of jokes and joy throughout the whole process. And that touches me because when I left his hospital room, I felt uplifted.
In an unprovoked attack, police say Damien was stabbed once in the arm and chest. Doctors say the knife nicked his heart.
The focus is for him to heal from the surgery since he bled into his heart and chest cavity.
Court documents show the attack happened on September 2nd, just before 6 at night. Damien and a group of friends were getting on the MAX train when investigators say Adrian Cummins, a 25-year-old homeless man who struggles with addiction, yelled racial slurs at them before stabbing Damien and another teen with a knife. Cummins now faces attempted murder, assault, and bias crime charges.
To me, that is one of the most vile and disgusting things that can happen, is a racially motivated attack.
The other victim was treated on scene and is expected to be okay. Police originally reported both as having non-life-threatening injuries, but we're told that wasn't the case for Damien.
The friends that were there in the group helped keep Damien alive until EMS could get there.
As for Cummins, prosecutors argue he's a threat to the public, so he's being held behind bars without the option of bail until his next court appearance, which is set for September 28th.
Adrian Cummins didn't win. Hate did not win that day.
Hate did not win. Hate will never win. Blair, what happens next for Damien and his family?
Well, Damien was supposed to be starting his senior year at Parkrose High School, but he's still recovering. Now, the family does have a GoFundMe set up. They're hoping to raise enough money to buy a car so that Damien never has to ride the MAX train again. And there's a link to that on our website. David, Laurel.
I know a lot of people want to jump in and support Damien. Thank you, Blair. Now to other headlines. Students in the Evergreen School District wrapped up their first day of school today after nearly a 2-week teacher strike. The union approved a new contract with the district this morning. Both the union and the district worked through the weekend and came to a tentative agreement last night. It includes 10 new special education student support teachers, with more to come next year, and cost of living increases over the next 3 years. The 7 days of school students missed because of the strike will be made up.
In Clark County, several teenagers are under arrest after trying to steal cars at an apartment complex in Salmon Creek. The sheriff's office shared these photos from Sunday night at the intersection of Northeast 10th Avenue and 139th. This was after they say an 18-year-old in a stolen getaway car crashed trying to drive off. Another teenager in that vehicle was arrested, along with one more who they say had run away from the apartments. No one was injured.
Students, families, and alumni from Milwaukee High School are remembering 59-year-old coach Roland Amuller. The longtime assistant football and track coach was a fixture in the community for more than 30 years. On Friday night, he passed away suddenly after a football game at Park Rose. Hundreds showed up near the school's field for a vigil last night. They lit candles and exchanged memories of the coach who they say helped raise the kids of Milwaukee.
He was always fighting, you know. He was always fighting for us and for the game of football that he loved, and we appreciate him for that.
There is a petition to name the field at Milwaukee High School in his honor.
Authorities say an Oregon man has confessed to the murder of a woman in Boston more than 4 decades ago. 24-year-old Susan Rose was bludgeoned to death in 1979 in Boston's Back Bay. A different suspect was tried and found not guilty back in '81, and then the case went cold. That was until 68-year-old John Michael Ermer walked into the Portland FBI field office last month and confessed to that murder. Ermer was arraigned in Boston today. He'd been free for 10 years, prosecutors say, after serving 3 decades in prison for a homicide in California.
The American Red Cross is asking for everyone's help to donate blood. That's because we're facing a national blood shortage. A spokesperson for the local Red Cross says there are 2 reasons why we're seeing this right now. One, this is the time of year when most people don't donate as much, and the second is because of Mother Nature.
This is a bigger drop-off than we typically see in the summer. Adalia did have something to do with that. As you mentioned, we lost 30,000 blood donations just in the month of August.
The Red Cross is having some upcoming blood donation events. If you want to see when and where you can help them, head to our website at kgw.com.
I'm Matt Safino. We started out with a lot of cloud cover today, but the sun is really breaking through, even in downtown Portland. This, of course, Washington County at the Reserve Golf Course. We're still in the mid-70s right now. The coast is also clear, but farther offshore, there's another weather system that's going to bring us more cloud cover during the day tomorrow. But it's really not that bad. It'll be a lot like what happened today with morning clouds. Maybe some area drizzle, and still cool on Tuesday. And by cool, I mean in the 70s. Not in the 80s or warmer, but that comes Thursday through Saturday near 90, with Friday being the hottest day. We'll let you know how hot, and there is the potential for some rain next week, but it's far from certain. Also, this is Hurricane Lee, the latest on it, coming up in a bit. Laurel, back to you.
Thank you, Matt. Reflecting and remembering on the lives lost and the sacrifices made on that fateful Tuesday morning 22 years ago today.
And on this September 11th, first responders and families, they gathered to pay tribute, including right here in the Northwest. China Green has more on the efforts to make sure we all never forget.
As thousands gathered in New York, where the World Trade Center once stood, here in our city, fire crews stood at attention at 6:58 and 7:28, the moments when the South and North Tower collapsed. A moment to honor
firefighters, police officers, paramedics, and other first responders shone brightly. They rushed into the World Trade Center towers, risking their own lives to save others.
A moment to reflect.
By the dawn's early light.
Imagining what it would have been like to come into work just like we did today, and sit down at the table and drink coffee together and share our lives and talk about our kids and trips that we've taken, talk about the day, and then to have the whole world suddenly turned upside down.
Later in the morning, Portland Fire and Rescue hosted a ceremony.
Thank you all for joining us this morning to honor the more than 3,000 fallen heroes.
To pay tribute on the 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks to the people who lost their lives.
It is important that we all come together as a community and as a nation to remember and give our deepest respect to everyone we lost in those attacks.
And to promise to keep their memory alive.
In their memory, we must continue to honor their legacy by protecting our communities and ensuring that the spirit of 9/11 lives on in the acts of kindness, compassion, and service that we offer to one another.
We will never forget.
For KGW News, I'm China Green.
No, we will not. 22 years on, you're watching KGW News. Straight ahead at 6, a race against time as the window to rescue survivors trapped in Morocco is quickly closing.
Also, and so it begins, how Oregon State and Washington State scored a small victory in their battle with the rest of the Pac-12. Plus,
the county doesn't want to have oversight on the way it's spending money.
Coming up on the story, an inside look at how Multnomah County is spending cash on homeless services and why one of the volunteers meant to oversee and advise on that spending says his committee is being ignored. That's ahead at 6:30, only here on KGW.